What is up, guys? Adrian here from LoshtV, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be giving you our Halloween Horror Nights 33 speculation, but before we do so, I need to give you a small forewarning. 1, this is speculation, meaning that none of this stuff is concrete until said differently by Universal. 2, I'm just having fun here. I'm not just saying this is coming to the event for sure. I'm telling you this might be coming to the event. And 3, and final 3, well, this is going to be the only bit of speculation that I do this haunt season. I just feel like I feed too much into HHN speculation, and well, it becomes the entire channel for the whole year. I'd rather give you guys a little bit of haunt season at the beginning of the year, and then we'll give you a bunch later on in the year. I feel like it's the best thing to do for both of us. And well, while I'm on the topic of the channel altogether, this year I have a goal to get to 5,000 subscribers. Is it possible? Yes, with your help. And how you can help? Well, subscribe down below. There's a little red button down there. You can press it, subscribe. It'll be great. Thank you so much. But now let's get into this speculation, of which, if you haven't seen my speculation in the past, it's going to be very similar, as I'm going to give you multiple categories with 3 items in each category, meaning that I'll tell you something like movie releases, and then I'll give you 3 movies that I think can happen. And well, while we're saying movie releases, the very first thing on the list is 2024 releases, meaning things that are going to be coming new to a streaming platform or a movie screen in 2024. And well, no better place to start than Peacock. That's right, we had the Peacock bar last year, meaning that NBC might try to continue this nice little synergy, this corporate synergy, and give us Camp Crystal Lake, the Jason Voorhees show that they're going to be placing on Peacock. It makes so much sense. It's a property created by Universal / Peacock. I mean, it kind of just writes itself out, and it's a great way to bring one of these big slashers into Halloween Horror Nights. Again, everyone loves Jason, everyone loves Halloween Horror Nights. Perfect, and it'll really check off that slasher that you're going to want to have at the event. And while talking about slashers, we have another slasher film that is releasing in 2024, and that is Terrifier. Art the Clown's getting his 3rd installment, and well, everyone wants this to happen. Even the director has stated that he would love to work with Halloween Horror Nights. If you don't believe me, I'll play a little, well, I'll place the message right here that he said, boom, it can happen. He wants it to happen. It's literally, the ball is in Universal's court, and just imagine if it's either Terrifier 1, Terrifier 2, or just Terrifier 3, which releases this year, or all 3 of them together in one haunted house. This can possibly be the most gory house they've ever had, because if you've never seen Terrifier, and if you haven't, do so, but please note, if you're squeamish, there might be some scenes you want to skip, but it is perfect. Art the Clown is a modern slasher icon, and truly a work of art. And now for our 3rd and final 2024 release, I see something that might be returning, maybe, if possible, depending on the rights. It's a Warner Brothers property. We had it for HHN 30. It is Beetlejuice 2, Beetlejuice Dose. And truly, I mean, Beetlejuice, the first time we had it, yes, it wasn't scary. However, this second film could possibly lead to a pretty good Beetlejuice house. Of course, we don't know much about it. We'll find out more details soon, but why not bring Beetlejuice back? You saw people loved him, and truly, the house could be so much fun. You can combine the first and second film, even giving some scenes that didn't work too well the first time we had the house, and do it again. This will also allow for Hollywood to get Beetlejuice as well, so it'll be a 1-2 punch of, hey, we have this now, come and check it out. It would just be so nice, and I feel like Beetlejuice is best beloved by Halloween Horror Nights fans, so I think it's the way to go. And now, bouncing off of new releases, we're going to go to anniversary IPs, or well, intellectual properties that have an anniversary coming up. And coincidentally, I didn't do this on purpose at all, but the 3 items I selected are literally all having their 40th anniversary, so ironic, I think not. Anyways, we have the first thing here, Ghostbusters. There's a brand new Ghostbusters film releasing this year, which kind of correlates with the first film having its 40th anniversary and this new film's releasing. They can kind of do this synergy of, hey, let's advertise the new movie, kind of like they did with Exorcist last year. Let's advertise the new movie and give you some of the original love here. I mean, Ghostbusters, when we had it, was such a fun house. I loved it from beginning to end, and it was such a fan favorite. Yes, it felt more like a dark ride and not so much a haunt, but truly, what is Universal if it is not making you walk through the movies? So, I believe this would be a great thing to bring to the event. Give us Ghostbusters, whether it's Ghostbusters 1, 2, all of them together, even the animated series. Why not? But Ghostbusters is celebrating its 40th anniversary, so it's a possibility, and if not, make it a tribute store. Do the same thing you did with Jurassic Park. I think that would be amazing. But hey, who knows? Let's move on to the next property, which is something that I've wanted for a very, very long time at Halloween Horror Nights, and now it is celebrating its 40th anniversary as well. That's Gremlins. The first movie, the second movie, whichever one, we want to see Gizmo. We know this can work as a haunted house, as we've seen puppets galore, and truthfully, Gremlins would just be a nice touch. Just imagine the Christmas time setting in a haunted house again, something similar to Krampus, but with the Gremlins. It would be so amazing, and if you use both films, you have so much to pull from. It would be a 1-2 punch of perfection, and well, like I said, it's an anniversary, so you can really mark it on the fact that it's the anniversary of the movie to really get a lot more people to check this out. And the final film that is celebrating its 40th anniversary is Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger, another slasher. Like I said, Universal loves to use these slashers in different haunted houses due to the fact that the name alone always lures someone in. And if you look at the track record for the last few years, we've had Michael Myers, we've had Leatherface, there's almost always a slasher, oh, and Chucky last year, but there's almost always a big slasher that draws the crowd. And well, Freddy Krueger can do the job, and he's celebrating his 40th anniversary. Why not? And it's also been so long since we've had either, like I said earlier with Jason Voorhees, so long since we've had a haunted house for Krueger or Jason. Actually, last time we had them was back in 2015, and they were facing off against each other, meaning that we haven't seen individual houses for either of them since 2007. So I think that the crowd would love to see it, the HHN fans would love to see either or, and Freddy Krueger is so beloved. Please, it's his 40th anniversary, give him the light of day, but just don't fall asleep on him. Well, actually, I think he would want you to fall asleep on him, so, it'll work. And now we are going off to our third topic here, and that is video game properties. And the reason that I am selecting video game properties more than anything is the fact that The Last of Us did phenomenal. The line was always long. That was probably the longest line consistently night in and night out for Halloween Horror Nights. And if I'm HHN, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, this do good? Why not do this? That is similar. So, with that, the first property here, BioShock. Need I say more? Okay, I will. There's a Netflix series coming out for BioShock. Universal, Netflix have good relations. That can possibly happen, or just completely based off the video games. It's kind of a pipe dream for a lot of people to see this as a haunted house. So I mean, why not make it work? I think it would be really well. Imagine seeing the Big Daddies just I don't know. I know we had Saws and Steams back in like 21, but it wasn't BioShock. Give us BioShock. And on the topic of other things that people have wanted for a while, give us Five Nights at Freddy's. It's the 10th anniversary of the video game. Literally, this year. Came out in 2014. The movie released last year. It is so hot. It was the highest grossing horror film last year. It's massive. This fan base is huge. It makes sense to just do a Five Nights at Freddy's haunted house. I feel like it's so obvious. It's right there. It should happen. This should happen. If it doesn't happen, maybe one day in the future. But this is one thing that I think should really happen one day at Halloween Horror Nights. I'm telling you, the crowds are gonna get huge, but it's a huge property. Like, it's Stranger Things level of huge. And finally, the third and final video game property I'm going to give you is Mortal Kombat. Now, I've had a commenter, every time I put out HHN Speculation, the past few years have told me that Mortal Kombat should come to the event, and well, I believe that it should as well, because he put out a little, like, a walkthrough, or like a written out concept for the house. I read through it. I think it would be awesome. I mean, it's a pretty cool concept. I would love to see Mortal Kombat as well. It's fun. Now, how could it work as a haunted house, you may ask? I don't know. They made The Exorcist work. They can make anything work. But I think it would be amazing. Imagine just seeing a ton of brutalities. Just, that's gonna be great. And now for this next one, which is the next topic, we have the Universal Monsters, which have become a staple of the event ever since we first had them in 2019 here in Orlando. And every year's house has been different, and I feel like this year would probably be different. I don't see why they would backtrack on that, but you can't say they're running out of monsters, because there's monsters they haven't done yet. Like Creature from the Black Lagoon. The writing is there. They're teasing us like crazy. They teased it in Dead Man's Pier. They teased it in Monsters last year. They teased it in The Bride of Frankenstein Lives. That's 3 straight years of teasing Creature from the Black Lagoon and not giving it to us. Hopefully this is the year. I mean, the movie is celebrating its 70th anniversary. So, I mean, possibilities are endless. You can do this alone. Its own standalone house, which I wouldn't be mad. Or you can pair it up with some obscure different creatures like the Metaluna mutant from This Island Earth. Because I feel like This Island Earth couldn't really have its own haunted house. And the Metaluna mutant is just a fun monster. I love the design, I love the blues. It's just so like contrasting to the other monsters. It's so bright and vibrant. And we haven't had an alien haunted house in a very long time. So I think this could really do well, and if you blend it with Creature, it will be nice. Because you can get that dark gritty and then that like comedic aspect thrown in there as well, which could be very fun. And then finally, the third possible monster, which isn't a monster at all, no. It is Van Helsing. Yeah. I mean, I was sitting there writing down some concepts for these houses. I've also made these speculations, like I wrote this down in like the middle of September. But you sit there and just write down things and I'm like, what monster would be perfect? The mole people? I don't know, maybe. Bring back Hunchback again? I mean, I love to scare. Bring back Dracula? And that's where I stopped and froze and said, what if we had a hero, sort of like something of Boris, so a Case Files type of house, but with Van Helsing. He's a vampire slayer, so it could be a vampire house, not so much focused on Dracula, but it can tie in with Dracula, so you can have a Van Helsing haunted house where you follow his different, like, his story arc. You can have him killing off these different vampires, being that monster hunter that he is. Case Files, but with Universal Monsters, it would be perfect! Alright, sorry about walking off for a second. I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong? No. Well, in terms of that, we're going to go to wishful thinking. Because I would like to think wishfully. This whole thing is wishful thinking, technically, like the whole video, but this topic is my wishful thinking because I couldn't think of another topic for these three. Wishful thinking. And the first thing I have here is Evil Dead. Any iteration of Evil Dead. Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead Rise. I would love to personally see Evil Dead, like the original series, but Evil Dead Rise would be really cool. We've been due for an Evil Dead house. Haven't had one since 2013, so, well, Ash vs. Evil Dead in 2017, but you know what I mean. It would be nice to have an Evil Dead property come back. And, well, speaking of Mars Attacks. It's just, again, back to what I said with Metaluna Mutant. I want to go back to space. Space is there, and we haven't gone to space in a very long time. Actually, the last time I went to a space haunted house at Halloween Horror Nights was 2014? Alien vs. Predator? Yeah, 2014. I believe that's the last time I went to space. I don't see why we haven't traveled back. Yes, we've had the Invasion Scare Zone, and oh, I loved it. But just imagine the Mars Attack. You could do the same thing you did with Killer Clowns. Have this, like, beautiful combination in this haunted house. You could even let it be a 3D house. Let it be 3D. I don't know, man. I'm just having fun. I'm spitballing here. And finally, the third thing in wishful thinking, The Conjuring. Do I have to really explain it? Okay, there's another movie releasing this year. The franchise is humongous. There's so much to pull from for a haunted house. It would be great. We would love it. We've been asking for it for years. We almost had it once. I mean, why not? It is wishful thinking nonetheless. And now to move into my final topic here, which is original properties, original ideas. Just, you can't really speculate on originals because they're due to change almost whenever. But again, this is my speculation. I'm gonna tell you what I think would be great for an original, like for this year. I believe we might see the return of a cryptid. Like a cryptid haunted house, you know, like the Yeti, Chupacabra, stuff like that. And I think maybe it was teased. Maybe we get the Jackal. There's a possibility. I know that in some of the Unmasking the Horror tours, the tour guides were saying this could be a possible house. There's that. Maybe the Loch Ness Monster. Don't know how that will be pulled off, but Universal's done amazing things. So many like different possibilities. Urban legends can also fit in this cryptid thing. La Llorona coming back. I wouldn't be mad. There's so many different like things to pull from here. Now we'll move to the next original concept here, and that is a return to another past attraction, similar to what we did with Dueling Dragons, Poseidon's Fury. Might not happen, but Dueling Dragons was amazing, and it served as fan lore. Like, it was fan service for all of us. We loved it. We were happy to just walk through Merlin Wood and experience everything. Imagine getting that same feeling all over again, but walking through Poseidon's temple. Now, it might be way too soon for it, but, I mean, why not? Strike the iron while it's hot. Give us Poseidon's Fury. Have different endings. Have Darkanon win once. Have Poseidon win. Have Taylor be there with the trident. It would be glorious. I would do that house way too many times. And finally, my final speculation for the year. My final original speculation for the year. The return of a 3D house. If you need to know anything about 3D houses, I'll put the video in the corner of the rise and fall of 3D haunted houses that I did with Dreamport Productions. But we are very keen on wanting 3D houses back. The last one we had was not good. And we can't end on a sour note. This should be the year it comes back. It would just be perfect for all of us. We'd love it. You'd love it. We are you included. So, anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what you think can possibly come to Halloween Horror Nights this year. Let me know. I'm gonna add this because someone's told me this and I haven't really watched it yet, so can't say anything about it. But Fall of the House of the Usher, yes, this is an Edgar Allan Poe, based off of Edgar Allan Poe. I'll give it a watch. Throw that in there for speculation purposes. And well, like I said, subscribe if you guys already haven't done so because we are trying to hit those 5,000 subscribers. And stay excellent, my dudes.